Hello everybody! This is the second part of my super compilation of all the things that I've learned about riding a motorbike on track. So if you missed the first part, I linked it below. Go watch it before watching this video because you may not understand all the things that I'm going to explain in this video. Instead, if you already watched it, let's not lose any time and go back to listing all the things that I've learned. Okay, as I said, you ride the bike with your legs. So, on the straight, you stay on the saddle. And on the corner, you move the cheek outside. But how exactly do you do that? At the beginning, it was complicated because I was on the straight, I started to brake, and I say, oh my god, I need to move the cheek. And I move the cheek while braking. The thing is that when you're braking, you're using all your strength in your arms. You're decelerating, and it's hard to move your body. You have to put a lot of effort, a lot of strength, and it's not only stressful, you also unbalance the bike, and it makes braking more difficult. So I discovered two lines of thought. There are those who move the butt right before braking, while still accelerating, and there are those who move the butt as soon as they start to brake, using the G-forces to slip off the saddle. I prefer the second one, especially because the 1000 is so powerful that when you're still accelerating, it's not that easy to move the butt. But you know, you should practice and find your best way. At this point, we need to optimize it, so we need not to make unnecessary movements on the bike. So if you have two corners in a row on the same direction, for example, you're leaning right, you accelerate, and you lean right again, you don't put the butt on the saddle to put it back out. But you lean right, you accelerate, keeping the cheek out of the saddle, and then you lean again. Okay, so what about the rest of the body? One of the most common mistakes in the newcomers is to stay always like this. You are on the straight, 300 kilometers per hour, with the wind blowing on your face, and you stay like this. You brake and you stay like this. This is wrong, because on the straight, you must go inside. And when you brake, you go outside. Because your body, it's like a sail. So if on the straight you don't go inside, you lose speed. And if in braking you don't go outside, it takes longer to brake. Also, when you brake, if you go up, and this movement must be boom, immediate. You're on the straight, boom, you brake. If you go outside, you can put more strength in the handlebars and be more effective. Okay, at this point, the question is, how do you use your body when cornering? I went to Fabrizio Perotti school and I learned how to ride with the new style. So I went from riding like a 60s to ride like a modern rider. Well, actually, I tried, but I couldn't. I mean, I wanted to go down, but I couldn't. And I didn't know why. Until Lorenzo, a friend of mine, showed me that the upper body problem comes from the accelerator. If you wanna go down your body, you need to have the wrists free. And the problem came from the throttle. If you look at these three photos of three different moments of my experience, in the first photo you can see that I'm holding the gas like this. And you see, I cannot go down because I cannot move the wrist. In the second photo, I'm holding the gas like this. And I can go down because I can move the wrist. So he taught me that when I release the brake, I need to move the hand around the throttle in order to be able to move the body. And I made a dedicated video which I linked below. And here I also understood the importance of the outer leg. Because when you go down and you corner, if you don't use the external leg to hang on the bike, where will you put all your weight? On the hands. This means you will put all the weight on the front, which means that every single movement that you make with your body will be transferred to the front, making it easier to lose it and fall. While if you hang on the tank with your leg and use your abdomen to keep yourself up, you will ride more smoothly. On track, you go fast, always. You don't go slow. You need always to push. So you never keep your finger on the brake. But when you brake, you brake. When you don't brake, you release the brake and take the throttle. You must use all your RPMs. So on the straight, you accelerate almost until the limiter. You don't wanna go like this, bo, 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 but always like mama. This is the same for braking. When you brake, you must keep high RPMs in order to use the engine brake to slow down. When you downshift, the clutch must be released gently, because if you release too brutally, your bike moves too much and you cannot control it. While if you release it gently, the bike remains still. We must accelerate every time we have the chance. So you have to accelerate, always. The mistake that I was making is that when you have those short straights between corners, I was doing like boom. I was walking, while the right thing was to boom. Full gas, brake. Full gas, brake. Okay, it's cool. Now I'm starting to learn a lot of things. But I still have problems on the straight because the 1000 pushes too much. It's too fast, too powerful. It scares me every time I accelerate. And at the end of the race, I feel the forearms burning. I cannot move the hand anymore. And I'm worrying about it. What is it? Do I have some physical problem? Do I have the carpal tunnel? Do I need to undergo surgery? No, it's just a riding problem. On the straight, because I was scared, I used to grip the handlebars too hard. And you understand that if the race is 18 minutes long, try to hold something like this for 18 minutes. You're never gonna make it. So I started to focus on the gas. When I was training on track, not pushing, I tried to hold the throttle like this, with 3 fingers. You don't need force to accelerate. You just need to turn the accelerator and then keep it. And then I started to release the hand, release the muscles, just keep it in position and breathe. This thing fixed all my forearms problems. Okay, but I kept having problem while coming out of the curve, because my biggest problem was that when I opened the gas, the bike ran wild and I couldn't sit on the saddle. Moreover, I always was fighting with the front, also risking some very bad accidents. And I hated it, because every time I was accelerating, I was scared I would lose control of the bike. And this was until Franco Morbidelli taught me one special trick. When you exit from the corners, you don't go back on the saddle with your whole body, but you just go in with your chest and then with the butt. And I made a dedicated video which I linked below. And another thing that I took advantage of was to use the gear shift to move on the saddle. You know that when you upshift, the motorbike kicks you a little bit. And you can use that kick to go back on the saddle. And this thing made me think a lot, because, you know, I always wondered how can the MotoGP riders make 28 laps in a row with those bikes so powerful and resist for 40 minutes. And when I think about this small thing about using the shifting to move on the seat, I realized that in order to be competitive in the World Championships, you need to be able to save every single tiny energy of your body. So you must be able to master all these tiny things that allow you to save energy. Because think about this, every time you move on the saddle, you need to make just a mini squat, okay? And if you do it 10 times per lap for 28 laps, we're talking about 280 mini squats that you make during a whole race. So if you find a way to do them without wasting energies, it means a lot. And probably this is the secret to race so long for so many laps and be competitive. By the way, I lied to you because this video is gonna be split in 3 parts. Really, there were so many things to say that 2 videos were not enough. There's gonna be a 3rd one, which is going to come out tomorrow at the same time. And obviously, if you're watching this video in 1 month, okay, the video is already out. So at the end of the video, you will find the link to click to watch it. By the way, thanks for watching. Remember, if you have something that you want me to explain more in deep, please write a comment below and let me know. See you tomorrow, same time. Bye bye.